Welcome to my podcast. Today I'm going to talk about another important case that you can face either in the Club 2 or in the clinical setting or the hospital environment or generally speaking in anywhere. So it's basically about dealing with an aggressive or violent patient. So violence, by all means, is not acceptable or tolerant in any way. And aggression and violence is something that should be dealt with by proper training, and the GMC had firm guidelines in regard. And you have to consider balancing the ethical conflict in this kind of situation, and also to exercise the verbal and non-verbal skills in order to diffuse the aggression or the situation you are in. So as I say, abuse, assault, violent aggression is not acceptable, and such has a zero tolerance to that. However, doctors fear violence. In certain situations, they feel it become like a daily reality. And the PMG in 2022 stated that there has been incident of violence at certain surgery, and since 2017 has doubled. So the doctors feels that they are obliged to treat patients no matter what's the situation or the condition, and the GMC explicitly stated that the professional relationship should be ended if violence has been experienced. And doctors are usually employed to work in a safe environment and with a secure workplace. So basically, it differs if the incident happened in the primary care health, where most of the doctors would be alone, or in the secondary care health, where the offender can be excluded from the premiers because there is usually a teamwork, there's security. So after all, violence is unacceptable and it's preventable, and this can be reduced by addressing the issue faced at the workplace and alter the way of the people or the staff, how they deal with such encounter with the proper training to escalate the situation. So, how can you spot someone who could be aggressive? So it could be like in their appearances physically, they could be like intoxicated or carrying anything like a weapon or anything in their hand that could state or show that they're already in a defensive situation. Or they could be blood-stained as well, which imply they had been in a fight. Also, it could be from their physical activity, if they are listlessness or agitated, pacing, or standing up frequently, or not settling, or maybe they are talking and clenching their jaw or their fist, for instance, or have their facial expression in a hostile manner, or they have like staring, for instance, in a way that doesn't make you feel comfortable, or they were like talking loudly, can't control their emotion. They might sound like tense, anxious, irritable, distressed, angry. Maybe they are swearing or threatening, and as I say, talking loudly. And all of that just imply that it's a toxic, hostile situation or environment which would escalate to aggressiveness. So in that kind of situation, you need to to absorb it, to diffuse it. You could do non-verbal messages rather than replying, maybe because this might escalate issue. So you need just to be aware of your reaction to those kind of situation. So, say for instance, you have to make sure that the tone of your voice, your facial expression, the body language and gesture remain to some extent calm, and try to be empathizing. Try to understand what's the issue and remain respectful, courteous, address their issue in a civilized manner, and use the nice words, please, thank you, stuff like that. You have to be composing yourself. So composure is very important in order to deflect this whole situation. Also, you could plan to move the scene. So you could ask the people to evacuate the area or move to another place to look what's going on, and change the way how the aggression has triggered, and see what's the issue. Also respect those person or whoever started the issue, their personal space. So try to maintain a safe distance, and don't touch or command. Just try to listen attentively and note. You could ask an open question, and don't challenge them, and just try to exercise a genuine empathizing concern and willing to understand their point of view without judging or telling or commanding. Ask only an open question to see what was the issue, what's their problem, provide them an opportunity to explain, and diffuse their angerness, and try to give like safe space and order if there is something gone wrong. And you yourself, you should move to a safer place. Don't get like trapped in a corner where you might be in danger for yourself. If the patient, for instance, has a weapon or sharp object or whatever, try to ask them calmly to put it down, and don't confront them. And if there is a button, like a call button in the place for help, you need to buzz that. And also, as I say, refrain from using commanding words or labeling or judging or lecturing or threatening back. Try just to calm and diffuse the whole situation. You could use certain words like, I totally see how this has affected you, or I appreciate how you're feeling currently, or I understand why you might feel like that, or I'm listening, I would like to know more. What's the issue? Can you explain it more? And also you can say, what can I do to make things better, or can help? Just stuff like that in order to see the issue from their point of view, and always use it in a polite, respectful manner, without any commanding or confrontation, because confrontation can escalate aggression and violence. So you need to be like in a safe place without escalating things. And a training should be provided also in those kind of situations to recognize those signs I just mentioned for aggression in order to diffuse them. And always try to exercise calmness, assertiveness as well. It's better not to use sorry too much, because this could make the situation really bad and worse. and just imply that you are totally wrong and they are totally right. So in that situation, I hope that I covered how you could deal with a patient who is really aggressive or really violent, whether to you in the clinical setting or in the hospital setting, and how to diffuse and tackle the situation effectively and efficiently and patiently. Thank you.